fiddlesticks!
What, Wilbur?
We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What?
Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What?
Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com. This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Most unhealthy things you got there in your freezer. Coming up with the head chef and Ted's Meat and Potatoes. But first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
We will jump right into the birthdays. Guys, I want to wish my kids a very happy birthday today. They are twins separated by 4 years. Brian, pronounced goofball, is 19, and Sonia, pronounced pumpkin, is turning 15 years old. These two mean the world to me, and they love to drive me crazy sometimes. Can I get some Wendy Williams on rapid fire and some of Steve's shotgun gets? Maybe a little kid fish sandwich. Keep on rocking, guys. That from Dewey. Get.
Buy you a fish sandwich.
Afternoon, hoes. Want to wish my bro Maine a very happy birthday. Can he get some green beans and a horny captain? Thanks, guys. That from Greg.
Green beans, green beans, green beans, green beans.
Ahoy there. For your birthday, if you're really interested in some green beans, you can fillet the Jolly Green Giant. He calls them his Brussels sprouts. Crunch berries.
Guys, today's my husband Sam Stilling's 40th birthday. He listens to your show every single day. So can I get the Dirty Germans and a fish sandwich? Thank you, guys. That from Sarah.
Yeah, we are so glad that you listen to the show every day. We would like to recreate it, but we'll be using a different microphone, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah, you can hold it and speak right into it.
Yeah.
She'll love it.
Get your mouth closer. Yeah, closer.
Yeah, eat it. A fillet of fish sandwich.
Pop your peas.
Yeah, you'll be using my thighs as your headphones.
Yeah, it's the opposite of corn on the cob. No teeth.
And you eat it differently.
Guys, I want to wish my big brother Raymond a happy birthday. Can I get an owl hitting the window and a fish sandwich medley from your little brother Terry?
A fillet of fish sandwich. So you know I'll
have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I want a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. Oh, yeah. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon. And at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich? Though you don't want a fish sandwich?
All the men's room. Today is my lovely wife Laura's 40th birthday. If this goes right, we'll be back alive from snowshoeing and soaking our old bones in a hot tub. Could you please get a Pat Sajak and the Dirty Germans telling her how hot she is with her new pixie cut? Thanks for making her wish come true, guys. That from Jose.
She wants a D, and she's going to get one.
Yeah, I do like this new pixie cut. I've just never seen this style of haircut on a vagina.
Yeah, I've seen the bangs. Seen a lot of things, even pigtails. Yeah, it's this pixie cut. I also like any kind of thing that rhymes with Dixie cup.
Yeah, pixie cut gets the Dixie cup.
Mm-hmm. But Charles, it's my wife's 50th birthday today. She would love a little kid's fish sandwich and a bunch of throw-gets and all the boys talking over themselves about life at 50. Thanks, guys. That from Mike.
Fish sandwich.
Get. Life at 50.
I'll tell you what, man, my experience is actually pretty fantastic, man. You just have this
the only thing I'm really worried about now is falling
care
down
anymore. You don't have allergies. You don't care. You don't care. Somebody does something. You don't care. People say don't care. You just don't care anymore. You're all keep it up.
Guys, it's my boyfriend Dennis's 50th birthday today. I want to wish him a very happy birthday, even if we're not in Vegas. Can you throw him some turtle wax with a big old bong rip? Thanks, guys. That from Sarah. Guys, I have a birthday shout out for my husband, Kurt. He's 55, a.k.a. the Double Nickel. We both love the show. That from Tracy. Can we give him your penis is too small, please? Guys, I was hoping you'd send a happy 55th birthday. Make it really nice or pretty laugh out loud. My husband is my best friend, and I say this since we were together 24/7 through 2020. So if you can make it through that and still like each other, you can do anything. Happy double nickels, Kurt, at Boeing. That from Tracy. Give me your penis is too small. Why not? All right, guys, here you go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails. Just wanted to let you guys know that I just got the green bean shirt.
Nice.
Green bean shirt. And I will be wearing the green bean shirt while I eat green beans. I wore it to the store and people probably thought I was weird. That from Parker. By the way, the green bean shirt is available now in the Rock Shop at KISW.com. The latest men's room shirt. It's a t-shirt with green beans on it.
Green beans.
That's all it is.
Green beans.
Buy one now. Green beans.
Green beans.
Couple extra ones here. Other night, as far as dogs looking at you, for a special guy's birthday, I had a mouthful of skinless bangers. Then I hear a Hugh behind me. Our dog put her big head on the bed and wanted to announce that she was watching. Neither of us could get the giggles under control for a while. That from the lovely Christy. Can't have any more. Older gentleman entering my 30s, I've realized that I can no longer have the same kind of spicy food as I used to.
Yep.
I used to be able to do the 7-alarm challenge at the Wing Dome and 5 or 6 star Thai food. That is insane. But Noah destroys my stomach and my starfish. Had to cut back the spices to a 3-star or pay the price on the throne. Rock on. That from Justin. That's still pretty spicy.
It really is, man.
Mm-hmm. You like really spicy, I'm telling you. Go to a Korean fried chicken place. I was in one and they were like, they wouldn't even serve us the sauce. So we asked for it on the side. And I tried it. It was debilitating.
Happened to me at a Thai restaurant. I ordered their because there's no science behind the number of stars you put on your spice. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'll do the 5 spice. And the waitress is like, this is what I will do for you. I'm going to put it on the side, and I'll bring it out, and if you want it, right? So she brought over a little ramekin of this stuff.
Yep.
It's just peppers and, like, vinegar or whatever. Smelling it was like getting tear gas.
Yeah.
And it's not like I sniffed it. She just put it on the table, and as the steam hit, I was in tears. Like, okay, not that one. Not that one. Thank you.
And one more as far as what I can't eat. On What Up, Bitches, for most of my adult life, I haven't drank beer because I overdid it at 19, and then just as I got over that at 25, I developed an allergy. That part is a hop allergy, so no weed either, because it's the same family of plants. Problem at 19 was I was dumb, like real dumb. I had a Memorial Day party and played drinking games, which should have been fine, but I was drinking Milwaukee's Best Ice. 12 cans later, over 2 hours, I was gone. Puked everywhere, woke up naked in the shower after a 3-hour blackout. I rallied, though, and was drunk until noon the next day. Took till 23 till I could drink a beer again without immediately gagging. So I only got 2 years of cheap bar tabs. Oh, well. Pour me that on Yeho. Thanks, guys. That from the friendly IT guy.
Time to open wide and sample Ted's meats and potatoes. Now, here's your host, head chef of the men's room, the Ted Nugent.
Head chef in the house.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we were talking about this earlier. Generally, the freezer has some unhealthy stuff in it.
Absolutely.
Now, I will say this. Like, I always have like a steak in there or something like that. But generally, frozen food is not. Nobody thinks you're eating the healthiest stuff on the planet.
No.
But this is a list of the unhealthiest of the bad stuff in your freezer.
All right.
Just randomly, how often do you think you eat stuff out of your freezer? I think for me, that's mainly a weekend kind of thing.
It would normally be weekend with the kids, maybe twice a week more.
All right.
You know what? I don't even necessarily eat it, but it is getting cooked. I guess that's the way to put it.
I've got a lot of stuff in there, like in just Tupperware containers. Like if I make a big pot of chili.
All right.
Then I'll put in individual things so I can just have a bowl that night. Or, like, what do I got? I've got pulled pork in there right now that I made.
Ooh, all right.
So just a bunch of stuff that, I'll eat later. I've got turkey gravy left over from something I did.
All right.
Just stuff like that.
How long you leave it in there?
Believe it or not, most of that stuff, if it's not freezer burned, you can keep for probably a year or so.
All right.
Spaghetti sauce, whatever.
Yeah. Well, there's something, like I've done it before with barbecue and stuff. My buddy smoked a bunch of barbecue and gave it to me. But I think by the next weekend, I was like, we're defrosting this.
Yeah, well, because it's barbecue. I mean, and that's the big difference. If there's something in your freezer, like I put it in here because I know I want more of this, especially if I didn't make it, which is always, like you said, stuff like barbecue, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't going to be in the freezer longer than a month.
Yeah, and he had smoked a corned beef. Somehow it tasted almost better after I froze it and thawed it out.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Smoked, like corned beef. I like corned beef, period.
Yeah, me
smoked
too.
corned beef. Ooh, that is something good. Ooh, excuse me. All right, let's see. Let's start with this. On the list, it's not out of 10. I only got 7 of them for you. Number 7 on the list, they say frozen toaster pastries. Basically, the Pillsbury toaster strudel. They're basically just straight sugar. Same goes for most frozen baked goods like cinnamon rolls and Eggo waffles.
Yeah, I mean, we know that. We do. You know what I mean? But I'm like, look, it's Eggo waffles. And again, in a pinch with the kids, like, guys, I remember the first time they had Eggos, like they had waffles, like at a hotel or something, right? So did you actually made in the waffle line? And they like those. Then they discovered Eggo waffles and realized they have this convenient way of eating them more often. Like their mind was blown.
They are a great late night snack.
Yes, they
just
are.
one with a little bit of butter and some syrup. I mean, it's perfect.
Well, when I was a kid, we always had Eggo waffles in there. Mm-hmm. Lender's bagels. You guys remember those?
I remember those, yeah.
Right, and those were frozen. And then Elio's pizza.
Yep. Had all 3.
Yeah, those were like the standards. And I will say this, too. The super pretzel.
We didn't get stuff like that. My parents weren't on that tip, which kind of sucked.
Well, for me, I was lucky because my brother was 7 years older. So he, like, that wasn't always but he could convince my mom, like, get the super pretzels. Let's see. Sweet and sour chicken. There's a ton of added sugar.
Of course.
That's one of the best things at the Trader Joe's, though.
I was going to say, I've been guilty of this one, man. There's so many, like, little easy things.
I bet that's really good in the air fryer.
You know, I haven't tried it yet. I have some Korean fried chicken for the air fryer, but it's been in there a couple weeks. I might fire it up this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. Let's see. Now, here's one's going to hurt. I can guarantee everybody in the room. Frozen French fries. They're just saying, like, they're not much healthier than the ones at McDonald's. Like, right,
we know.
I don't think anybody eats a French fry and thinks, I'm doing this for my health.
Well, no, you're 100% correct. Like, certain foods, like, come on, man, if you're eating a French fry, this is not for you to feel better.
It's probably better if you make them in the oven or deep fry them, or I'm sorry, air fry them. Because when you deep fry something like that, it's not that they're not healthy already, they're not. But I think they just, when you have them at home.
But I don't think too many people frozen French fry. Like, when's the last time you saw somebody fry a French fry in oil in a home?
Yeah, I mean, the air fryer, otherwise they're in the oven, right?
But then they're in the oven. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like at home for years, the tater tot that's what it's
far superior for doing it at home.
Yeah.
And the tater tot, just like a little cube of hash brown.
You know what it is?
I mean, really, when you break it down, you're kind of like, okay, this is like a teeny tiny hash brown.
The Ore-Ida company created them.
Tater tots?
Yeah, because there was all these little
extra pieces
from forming the other French fries. And they formed them into tater tots.
Thank you, Ore-Ida. And I mean that.
Yeah. I don't keep tater tots. I keep 2 types of fries in my freezer.
All right.
Regular kind of like fast food ones in case there's people over. And then Arby's curly fries for when I want something.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to share, are you?
Like in the frozen section?
What's that?
They have them in the frozen section.
The Arby's? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're curly seasoned fries.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
they're awesome.
They're not far off from what you get at
They were always good in the oven, but now I got an air fryer. It's like, yeah. I know, somebody was giving me, they were like, you don't give those to, I was like, no, that bag's just for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Brian's got my name on it.
I get it. You know I operate, man. If I really, really like it, this is for no one.
See, now you get what I'm actually saying.
Yeah, that's it. Like, no, that's not for you. No. I know you saw them, but you can't have any.
Let's see this one. Corn dogs. You know that corn dogs aren't healthy, so obviously wrapping one in sugary batter doesn't help. I will say this. The mini corn dogs, they show up. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't remember the last time I bought corn dogs, but I've definitely bought a package of mini corn dogs for, like, a sporting event or something. But, like, dude, I got mini corn dogs.
Yeah, I want to say we had mini corn. It's like 2 years ago for something. Like, we had people over, everyone's outside, summertime kind of thing. I wasn't that excited about them. I remember pop one in my mouth, and then I probably devoured like 12 more.
Question for anybody out there who has an air fryer and put a corn dog in there. If you put a corn dog in there with a wooden stick, the wooden stick doesn't catch on fire or cook or anything, right?
I would doubt that it would catch on fire.
Well, no, because corn dogs are made in a real fryer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an air fryer.
Right, I'm saying, like, if I buy them and I put them in the air fryer.
I just buy mini ones.
And they have the wooden stick. Okay, all right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would catch on fire, but let's cut out the middleman. Let's get some mini ones.
All right.
Wait, just random question. What would you think about somebody that ate a corn dog and ate all the batter first and then ate a hot dog off a stick.
I mean, look, I'm not going to pass judgment on them publicly, but that disturbs me. I've seen it before. I'm like, man.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, it looks really gross.
Yeah.
Just when you're halfway done with that, just seeing half the batter chewed off, teeth marks, and that little weird-looking dog under it, like, man, come on.
You circumcised the corn dog.
Yeah.
It's just strange. I'm going to skip this one, because Miles will hate it. TV dinners make the list.
Of course.
Usually light on vegetables, loaded with salt. Look for a low sodium version with lots of veggies.
I can't even remember the last time I had one.
No.
But I always like fried chicken. I always get the fried chicken or the meatloaf or the Salisbury steak.
Right, like I grew up with the Swanson Salisbury steak with the potatoes, the corn, and that
little brownie,
the lava hot brownie in the middle. But I'm with you, man. I think I bought a Hungry Man. It had to be 2013.
Really? How was it? As you remember,
now.
Was it decent, or were you like, oh?
Yeah, I don't eat them much.
Okay.
Frozen pizzas. Most of them are loaded. Again, this is a list of unhealthiest things in your freezer. Most of them are loaded with salt and saturated fat. In general, thin crust is better than thick, and you should opt for veggie pizza instead of things like pepperoni and sausage.
That's all I mean in pizza.
They also said Hot Pockets and pizza rolls made the list.
Hot Pockets.
We know you're eating disaster when you eat them.
Right, and
they leak grease. You know, as soon as you pull them out of the oven, put them on a paper plate, you look at that plate, you're like, there's nothing healthy happening here, man.
No. And I think, again, it has to do with age stuff, right? Like, I'm sure late teenagers, early 20s, right? Like, you're probably just eating frozen pizza for, like, a thing. But I'm with you. Like, if I'm going to get a frozen pizza, I'm going to get the one I want.
Damn right.
It's going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine pulling out a frozen pizza? It's like, well, to be healthy, we got the vegetarian one.
So what's what I'm going to hate?
Only because you and my mom are the only two people I know that love these. Frozen pot pie.
You're killing me, Small.
I know. They taste good for a reason. They're one of the highest calorie and highest fat options in the freezer aisle.
What is that? Is it Maria Claire or whatever?
Marie Callender's.
Marie Callender's,
yeah.
Okay, and then there's also Claim Jumpers. They have another good pot pie. There's a lot of good pot pies out there.
Yeah, and and I always say this whenever you bring them up. When I was a kid, I always forget the name of it. I can't remember Purdue, but it was a yellow package, and it was a bigger one. But like that would just be a dinner, right? Because my mom worked the whole time, so she would come home and cook that. But yeah, to this day, I it's like I know, like you're an ice person. I know other ice people, but yeah, you and my mom are always like she'll be like, I had a pot pie tonight. I'm like, okay, that still seems odd, but I get it. It's a quick dinner. It brings somebody comfort.
You put ice in your Coke. You're weird, Mom.
Well, I tell her every time, too. I go, God damn it, you and Miles. The only two people I know talking about pot pies. Now, I'll eat a meat pie at a soccer match or something fancy, and I guess that's still sort of a pot pie. And pot pie has its place. But yeah, the frozen
But if a restaurant has a pot pie, there's a reason they have a pot pie. They make a good one. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So it's going to be just as bad, but those things out are delicious.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Like, yeah, sure. Like, go get it there. But yeah, frozen pot pies. Like, I feel like as an adult, I don't know that I've ever had one in my freezer.
I've got one in there right now.
Do you?
I know you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I say. I know I got some chicken in there. I got like a frozen pizza. Then there's just random like steaks and veggies.
Right.
But that chicken's getting eaten first.
Thank you, Head Chef. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Bilford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up in minutes here, we'll drink, we'll toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, a quick check-in with Mike Hogg at some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, a new poll found that 15% of people have had sex with a talking sex robot.
How many?
15%.
Wow, that is
a talking
much
sex robot.
Yes, not the kind we had, Miles. They didn't talk.
That's right. They didn't respond to you.
Why would I buy a robot that could talk?
Yeah, I do not want you to talk.
Think about that for a second. That means we can add 2 people to this conversation that we're having right now, and one of them has had sex with a talking sex robot.
Which is crazy to me. So how many people do you think have just had sex with a robot?
Right. That's the other part of the question.
Because I feel like a talking robot on some level is an upgrade, right?
What counts as a robot, by the way? You know, how much of the autonomy has to be there in order for it to be a robot?
Well, for me, just one little...
Exactly, though. I mean, is it a handheld robot?
I don't know, man.
It's electric powered. It has certain features to it. It's robotic in ways.
I mean, it's robotic. You're talking about like a vibrator or something like that, but
Yeah.
I don't picture that as being a robot.
Right.
Imagine a talking vibrator. Working here.
But I mean, if you've got the torso hanging there, I mean, there's nothing else to it, but you got the torso right there.
I guess. I mean, if it's talking...
But the torso, you could buy just the torso or like a fleshlight.
Right.
Yeah. But that's not a robot.
But if it's got mechanics inside of it, you know, now we get into the question of when do we go from like
sex toy to robot?
Right, automaton, android, that sort of a thing.
Is it hands-free, in other words, right? If
Right.
it's going to do for me what I'm hoping it does, but I don't...
As long as the table's high enough, it's hands-free.
Well, I mean, look, I can go play with a ball. That's not a robot. But if the ball could move on, you know what I mean? But then there's robotic toys.
Right, exactly.
So I'm saying, I don't think I've ever had sex with a robot, but I've definitely used a sex toy on myself.
Right.
And what's funny, I've had sex with people where you felt like you're having sex with the robot.
Right.
You know, because clearly I'm not doing my job. But I never thought, ooh, let's replicate this moment. You're so great.
Right.
Yay.
Like, does it make me feel bad about myself when I'm done? Well...
It happens to every guy. And do you think it's the same voice as like Siri? Like there's always that one female voice that apparently is anything that's automated.
How long has it been?
I want it to be the person and you press the pedestrian walk button. Wait.
Wait.
Wait. Wait.
I want the Stephen Hawking voice.
Wait.
Oh, no.
You're doing such a wonderful job.
Wait.
A new survey found that many people that, quote, rage quit end up regretting it.
Well, yeah, because you rage quit it.
Right, because...
If you put rage in front of anything, there's a chance that you're going to regret it.
A decision that is made with emotion can sometimes garner a regrettable decision.
Yeah, it's like getting in a fight. Obviously, emotions got the best of you.
Exactly.
You fight, and win or lose, at the end, both of you are kind of like, yeah, I wish we hadn't have done that.
Right. Think things through. That's all I'm saying, man. 2 out of 3 Americans refuse to poop at work.
I don't have a problem with that.
That's a metric that does not apply to this room.
No.
Oh, no.
Because I know for a fact that nobody in this room is afraid at all. In fact, there's some people in this room that'll just have full-on conversations with you while on the toilet. And by that, I mean everybody.
I walked into the bathroom this morning, and it was so thick that I couldn't believe it. I went back an hour later, and that still was there, lingering around. Oh, yeah. I was like, man, that is impressive.
I know. I've got competition in here, and I think I know who it is.
Impressive.
It's probably exactly what you think it is, and I wouldn't call it competition.
Yeah.
You might be a strong number 2, no pun intended, but I want to say this person kind of dominates.
They do.
Absolutely.
The Joey Chestnut of pooping.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, boys, there's a new term that's about to sprout. Doppelbanging.
But you have sex with a twin.
I think most people do this.
Oh, what? Somebody looks like you?
Or looks like your ex?
It is dating somebody that looks like you.
I don't want to do it because it might be
looks like you.
You're right.
I think the more couples are together, the more they start looking like each other.
Thank you. I was about to say, wasn't that something that is said that after a while of being together, you start to actually kind of look like each other?
I mean, there's no physical basis for that to be true. I think it's just more people perceive you.
Sure.
Right? Because you're just a pair. They're already used to your mannerisms, how you talk, all that. So you start seeming the same. But I mean, you do not physically start to look like each other.
I don't know how.
Put it this way, my wife starts to look like me. We're going to have a long talk.
We're going to have a long conversation.
Please do not turn that corner, man.
Right. If I found me in female form, I'm not sure I'd find myself attractive.
Like I said, I'm Wendy O. Williams.
Oh, true enough.
Shave her head, give her a beard. And I don't want to have sex with her. And not because she's gassy.
Right.
She looks like me.
Exactly.
That disturbs me greatly.
I don't like what I see when I look in the mirror. I don't want to have sex with it, man.
Well, she can't feel her legs. Bonus.
Damn. Tinder is now letting people do background checks on potential dates.
That should be a good thing.
This
hopefully to keep people safe.
Right.
I mean, look, if you're on there, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a choice you made. And if those are the conditions and terms, and you agree to them,
right,
then you're like, what do you have to hide?
Yeah, that's it. If you're going to do it, don't worry about it. I would not do it.
Right.
I don't think I have anything to hide, but it's just weird to me that people doing background checks.
Exactly. I fully understand why somebody would. There is a creepy factor to it, though,
I would have a feeling that people do their own investigation. I mean, even before that. You know what I mean? Just to ensure that
stalk, man.
We're going to meet at a safe social place.
Exactly.
If I have any questions about that type of situation or whatever, I am sure for a fact that if you get matched up with someone, even if you don't go on a date or you're just looking to see who that person is, I'm sure people go and
Facebook,
all
Twitter,
you gotta do is go on Google and just figure out, hey, who is this person? What are they into?
Exactly.
Would I like them?
But you're also assuming that's their real name.
Sure.
Tinder's a wild place.
It is, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And a lot of it is just going to hook up and this and that. So it's just, like anything else, it'll be, there's a reason predators are on there.
And if I'm not mistaken, there actually is a way that you can link your Facebook to things like Tinder, so that just for that, so you can just go and check out who this person is. Before you get any.
That's not the person serious. You probably need a background check.
Yeah.
Right. And most people that you're worried about, they're not going to tell you at dinner.
Of course not.
Oh, by the way, I did 2 years for assault.
Right. I once shot a guy, but That's the old me. That's not me anymore.
Third date material.
A new survey found that dress codes at work are more relaxed now.
You don't say.
Look, if you still go into the office and you're not meeting with a client or somebody that you need to be presentable for, nobody's there.
Right.
So, I got to the point that in the past 2 years, I'll wear sweatpants once or twice a week to work.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. But you need to worry. Just come to work. If you want to come to work, come to work. But if you're going to come to work, don't bitch about the people at work and what they're wearing.
Right.
It doesn't really matter to you because you're not coming to work. If you come to work, then you know that nobody is here at work. So as far as that is concerned, you know when to dress properly for the right occasion.
Right.
There's no reason to dress up unless you need, again, to meet with somebody or whatever it is.
Face of the company.
That's all. I mean, maybe you're Zooming and you want to look good for whatever that is. That's
people
fine.
know when to do it. If you're having a wedding, you understand I'm probably not showing.
I should wear a coat.
It doesn't take a lot. But, that's one of the bright sides of all this COVID stuff, right? All these stupid rules they had at work. And it's all just protocol. And people stick with certain things because that's just how we've done it. And with this, you can't get people to come back to work. Doesn't mean they're not still employed, but I mean to physically show up at work, Zoom call, all that stuff, and you go, turns out our employees, they're competent, they were still productive, they still got their job done. We don't need all the BS.
Friend of mine, I also don't think it's just the pandemic. Back in the day in the business world, you wore suits because suits were expensive. But suits aren't really expensive now. You can go to a lot of, I'm not saying they're good quality suits.
Right.
You can buy cheap suits. And then number two is, the richest dudes on the earth now, they don't wear suits.
No, Zuckerberg wears a hoodie. He has.
Right. What was his name? From
Cook and the
Jobs.
They
Right.
wore
Right. Because he was like, I don't want to have to think about what I'm wearing, so I wear a black turtleneck every day.
Right. Mike, I went to a wedding that I had to travel for when I was about 28, 29 years old.
Okay.
Right? And it was a wedding in Florida. So my buddy was getting married. That's where he and his wife wanted to get married. Whatever, the family's from there. So I fly down to Florida, go to the wedding. I'm wearing a suit. He walks down the aisle. He's wearing flip-flops, he's wearing khaki shorts, and a white beach shirt.
Perfect, dude.
And I was like, oh my God. I packed dress shoes, dress socks. It was in a cabana at this resort, but I still didn't know that they were they never said casual. I would never have brought that crap.
They did say casual. It said it's in Florida.
Right. True. I just assumed.
Right. Someone asked 1,000 older parents to name the best things about being an empty nester.
Saving money.
Well, lucky for you guys, I do have the 10 best things about becoming an empty nester.
I know one. you can bring back being vocal in the bedroom.
Ah, very good. Okay, I like it. What? Any other speculations on what might be high on this list?
Smoke weed in the living room.
Smoke weed in the living room. Here are the 10 best things about becoming an empty nester. Number 10 being having more disposable income.
Yes. Yes.
They're not taking all the money.
Captain Obvious.
Right. Yeah.
Who is that man? Captain Obvious.
Number 9, making whatever you want for dinner.
Who is that man?
Yes.
Look up in the sky.
Yes.
Captain Obvious.
Also, just making something just for you.
Not even just making stuff at home, but even going to a restaurant.
Sure.
Unless your kids, even if they're living at home, if they're 16, 17, you still can't just go to the bar. Right? Instead of waiting 20 minutes for
Correct.
You still can't go. And it sounds stupid. It sounds petty. And maybe it is both of those things. But I'm telling you, everyone I know that's had a kid that suddenly has to wait.
Right.
To sit down. And again, typically I'm at a restaurant, I would not pick as my first choice. Right? I satisfy the kids. I got to wait 20 minutes to get a mediocre meal. Like, F this.
And we do that. We do that here. I mean, that's unique to Washington, too. As far as having, you have to be 21 to get in this place. Especially if you serve food. When Steve and I were down in Sacramento, there was a family that was getting married.
Okay.
And I'm at the bar at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting breakfast.
Nice.
The girl beside me at the bar, she was 4. She was eating pancakes. I talked to her.
Nice.
She was the ring bearer. You know what I mean? But she's at the bar with me.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with that. She had her orange juice and they put it in a plastic
Was it a
cup with
hotel
lid.
bar?
No,
Yeah.
it was not.
Yeah,
the hotel bar.
the hotel
I feel like you get a little more leeway there.
Sure.
Like, I mean, like, I've had my niece and nephew where, like, it was kind of an open thing, but I don't think California you can still bring kids in the bar, can you?
I think federally you cannot. When we went to Toronto.
I know Texas, like, if your kid's over a certain age and you escort them
if you're
in.
with them, they could be in there.
Right.
When we were in Toronto, we're just used to how things are here. And so we walk in, we have the kids, and it is basically a giant sports bar, but then they have a bunch of arcade games. Right?
Nice.
So the plan was we'll sit down, we'll eat dinner, lunch, whatever the hell. Give the kids the money, let them go have fun. And when we're there, the bartender waves us over. I'm like, what's up, man? He goes, dude, instead of waiting for a table, you can sit here with your kids. I'm like, can you? He goes, do you think I'm so stupid that I would serve them? I said, no, I don't think anybody is. But in the U.S., the government thinks that you are. And he goes, yeah, but I can tell they're underage. I'm not going to serve them alcohol.
Yeah, like waiting sucks. But I also think there's some bars, like, it's good to have that rule.
No, I agree.
Like, no offense, but, like, I mean, I've done it with my buddy. He had, like, a newborn, and they were like, it's a newborn. It's like, and they were like, yeah, but, like,
but
like, none.
People that are sitting in this bar don't really want a newborn just sitting there right next to them.
Yeah. Like, look, if I'm at a bar at 11 a.m. on a Saturday not watching sports, like, I'm trying to get hammered.
Exactly. 10 best things about becoming an empty nester. Number 8, not having to go around the house collecting dirty cups and plates.
Yeah.
Amen.
Really?
Amen.
Oh, man, a kid will use 9 cups in one day.
I had my daughter.
Kid?
I'm sitting in the office the other day at home, and I just hear my wife going, just use 1 cup like your dad does sitting on the side. And I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm. It's especially, you're drinking water. Why do you need a different cup?
And you walk around, you pick up like 2 or 3 of the same drink because they forgot where they put it.
Yep.
But they'll just go get another one because they don't want to look for what they left behind.
No.
Number 7, more freedom, and you can be more spontaneous.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right. Just whatever you want to do.
Hey, kids, I'm going to apply your mom in the bathroom. Like, right, we understand.
Did you already say watch what you want?
I did not.
Oh, shocked that's not on there.
Well, Ted, you can always watch what you want. It just so happens it always ends up being about 11 o'clock at night, as opposed to at the moment that I wanted to watch this thing.
Number 6, cooking is easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it just because you don't have a shadow right behind you?
No, it's not that. It's that the food you cook will be eaten.
It's also what you want to eat. So you know the diet of the child that you have. Mm-hmm. And even if they're 17 years old, they still might not eat certain things that you make.
Right.
One of the things you have to do is compromise to the point where they need to eat, you need to feed them. The days are done of like, you're not getting up off this table until you finish that. It's like, no, you just got to make stuff that they like to.
Mm-hmm. Number 5, not having to clean up after them.
Yes!
Captain Obvious flies again.
These are the 10.
I mean, it seems like, though, like, after, like, empty nester, like, just say your kids were close to, like, leaving the house. Like, I tell you got to clean up after a teenager all the time. Then I used to just get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But now you don't even have to yell. You're right. It's at the point where it's like, hey, man, you need to do this. But now I don't have to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. These are the 10 best things about becoming an empty nester. Number 4, energy bills go way down because they're not on their gadgets all day.
Gadgets, the heat, you name it, man.
Yeah.
And you realize you
Video
turn
games,
into your
TVs.
father. It's not my goal, but I really, like when we had the cold snap, like, no, we're lighting a fire.
Right.
Put on a hoodie.
Not only that,
I'm not turning up this heat.
We're heating the whole damn neighborhood.
If you can downsize, do so. Because there's no reason to heat or cool a 4-bedroom home when it's just you and one other person.
Exactly.
You don't need that.
You do not.
You can do something else.
You do not need 3 stories.
No, you don't. You really don't. I mean, you can keep it. I mean, you don't need it.
No, you do not.
Close those doors and shut the vents off.
Number 3, when you clean the house, it stays clean.
It's amazing how that works.
Right. What do you know? Nothing's making it dirty.
I always tend to make a mess the moment I clean my home, though.
Yeah.
Something happens, like I'll drop a glass or something stupid. You're like, oh, God, I just cleaned.
Spill your tropical punch on the carpet.
No.
Like, really?
No.
Number 2, your food bills go way down.
Of course.
You mean if you feed less people, it's cheaper? Captain Obvious.
I remember there was one weekend that all 3 of us kids were at some summer camp or whatnot. My mom made dinner one night, and she actually texted us. She was like, I made a full-ass pot of rice just because I had been so used to making this much rice. And she didn't know what to do with all the doggone stuff.
Somebody here says, we have 4 kids under the age of 10. This list feels like a personal attack against my weak pullout game.
Hang in there, man. It's coming.
That is a weak pullout game.
But this is the number 1 thing about becoming an empty nester. Ladies and gentlemen, less laundry.
Yeah.
Well, if you're like my family, then that comes before becoming an empty nester.
Look, dude, here's the problem with kids, all right? Every single thing, every single item is inside out. Every sock, every shirt, every pair of pants, and your big-ass hands and arms. They can't necessarily all the time get through those legs and arms to turn everything out without stretching the living hell out of it. Every item they put in a hamper is inside out.
No, it's not a joke. It's just how they pull off their clothes.
Oh, my God.
Everything I put mine is, too.
Yeah, but then you have to go and you
but
have
at
to
least
turn
it's
it
on you.
right side out when you go and you fold it.
But that's you. It's there. It's like cleaning up a mess. If you make a mess, you'll clean up your mess. You made it. If you walk into the same kitchen, there's an equal mess, and you had nothing to do with it. That same mess now pisses you off, right? So,
I feel like I'd just rather touch clean socks and underwear, and I mean that's just part. To me, that's part of doing laundry.
No, I hear what you're saying. That's supposed to stick it in the dirty or all the.
Yeah, just like
A man in Florida was hit by a car as he was leaving a convenience store, and you'll never guess what his biggest worry was.
What was that worry?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK. All right, we made it to drinking time.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.